Howdy there, pipe smokers. Old Pipe Pops here coming at you. I'm smoking my big old Nording freehand with some Gold Rush in it, and making this video today as a response to the Hermanninator's 15 questions. Now, there's been a lot of 10 questions that presenters have offered up that I didn't bother to answer because most of the questions I'd answered in previous videos at one time or another. So, but the Hermanninator's 15 questions kind of intrigued me, so I'm going to make an effort at answering those. Uh, what age did I start reading? I guess I must have been 4 or 5 years old, kindergarten. Started reading. The second question is, which genre do you prefer? That's a very hard question for me to answer because I like to read such an eclectic variety of things. I I have I've read all kinds of novels. I've read the Russian authors. I've read Heinlein in science fiction. My favorite science fiction author was probably Aldous Huxley. I like James A. Michener. I, I like research, but I just too many genres to pick from, and I, I I read a lot of different things. Uh, do I rather would I rather read alone or with somebody else? It doesn't make any difference. I Somebody's reading alongside me, so be it. Uh, can I read if there are other people talking in the background? Yes, can. I can tune them out. Unless they're talking directly at me and addressing me, I can pretty much tune them out and go ahead and read. Uh, how many uh, how many books do I read a month? Well, that varies. Uh, and it goes in spurts. There'll be months go by where I won't read more than one book, and there'll be other months where I might read a book a day, depending on, of course, the size of it. So it varies. How long do you read in one day? Now that also varies depending on the amount of time I have to devote to it. Been days when I've read almost a whole day away, and there's other days when I've only had an hour or two to spend at it. Do I write stories and books? Yes, I've written a few stories, and I've had a couple of articles published in a periodical. I wrote my entire memoirs here a year or so ago. Uh, uh, I don't have them published or anything. I'm not sure I want to until maybe posthumously because they're certainly not for the faint of heart. Uh, hmm. Do I read on holidays? I read anytime, whenever I have the time. If it's a holiday, I read. If it's a regular work day and I've got a few minutes, I'll read. That make no difference. Uh, what do you think of people who don't read? I have to agree with the Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. Those that can read and don't, it's tragic. Uh, do you think reading is important? I think it's probably one of the most important things a person can do. Uh, yeah, I couldn't stress how important it is enough. The more reading a person does, the more rounded they become, and the more knowledgeable they become. Uh, it's extremely important. Do many in your family read? Yeah, almost everybody in my family reads. My wife reads a lot. My son reads voraciously. Uh, let's see. Do you think there is such a thing as a bad book? I'm not going to say there's such a thing as a bad book. I believe there are some very poorly written books, and I read a few of those. uh, as far as like dangerous ideas written, I don't I don't buy into that. I believe that censorship is for the individual. If you don't like something, you don't have to read it any further. But to ban it or anything like that, I'm totally against that. I think everybody has the right to express their views, even if I don't agree with them. What is my favorite book? That's impossible for me to say. I probably the book of whatever book I happen to be reading at the time. I have no real favorites. I have favorite authors, and there are a lot of them. And I'll read everything from Bertrand Russell to Thomas Aquinas. I like historical novels. I just it's just way too varied for me to pick a particular book. What do my family and friends think about me making YouTube videos? Well, my son thinks it's kind of cute, and my my wife thinks I waste too much time at it, and I guess the rest of them just think I'm bonkers. So with that, I'll let you go and wish you a great day, and I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day and uh, remembered those that fought and died for our freedoms. And with that, I'll bid you a fond farewell.